Hi, let's react to David's video. Is it David's? Dawid? It's David. Dawid Does Tech Stuff did a video all about gaming in Linux, and of course we have to react to it. So let's see what he has to say. So this is just the beginning. I love his content. If you don't know who he is, you are living under a rock. His content is really funny and actually very educational. Okay, I see what he's doing here. He's just comparing Linux to something that it's a torture device, which is not. But let's carry on.
It's not compatible with. Of course, it was horrible. Linux is a very horrible thing. But
No, it's not. But
recently, I've started becoming more and more Linux curious. And
nice.
In my last video, when again I tried to clockwork orange some Linux onto a device. That
Yeah,
wasn't
he
compatible,
recently did a video where he tried to install Linux on some Chromebook devices. It did not went well, just because Chromebooks are the devil's work. So just stay away from them.
I thought I should probably try Linux on something that isn't that me, a professional tech noob, is gonna do.
Yeah,
my
you are a
first
tech noob for
proper
sure.
ven-
No, he's not a tech noob. Like PewDiePie, like one of the last videos I just made, I reacted to. They are neither tech ignorant. So for him to dive into Linux, he should be easier than the regular person.
into some Linuxing. So what I'm going to do is install Linux on the most recent gaming system I built, which is this one. And the system in question is the all AMD build I did a couple of videos.
Okay, all AMD should make his life a little bit simpler, because in theory, AMD graphics card should work better out of the box. That being said, all the NVIDIA drivers and all of that stuff, it has improved quite a lot, quite a lot lately. So even NVIDIA, it's not a problem. I don't have any AMD card. Well, I have an AMD card, but I'm not using it at the moment. So I'm using all NVIDIA, and the drivers just work fine.
Ago, which has a 7600 X3D in
Of course, I don't have this kind of power.
Fabulous looking Yeston RX 9060 XT, and then compare the
graphics card is equivalent.
To the trusty old syphilitic leopard that is Windows. And depending on how it goes.
If you're watching this on a short form, come and join. Go to my bio and check my link, or go into long form videos on that video channel, OzoiBits, or check my site ozoi.com. I'll see you there. Like, subscribe, and comment. Cool.
I may actually commit
for the long form peeps, let's go.
Video to using Linux on my personal system at home. But that's only
so if things go okay, he will use it in his daily driver. Fine.
Because if it goes
come on, I don't want to give publicity to people. He deserves. Distro.
According to Wikipedia,
let's go. Blah 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 blah. Now he explains. I think he's going to explain what a distro is.
Linux kernel for its kernel.
Yeah. Let's go forward to its line of choice.
Yeah, I know I'm good. I'm probably not easy for me as I think. Specific.
Okay. Bazzite. Like in line with Jay's 2 cents, he went for Bazzite. So he first tries to explain what a Linux distro is. So basically, Linux is the kernel itself. A distro it's a kernel, and all the applications that kind of gravitate around it. So Linux it's a kernel, and a distro it's the kernel of choice, versioning and customization of choice of the Linux kernel and all the applications. So the united forces of the Linux kernel plus the applications of choice will just provide a distribution. He went for the Bazzite, like Jay's 2 cents, solid choice for a beginner. This works in desktops, portable devices, and on AMDs, on AMD graphics cards, NVIDIA graphics cards, integrated graphics cards, iGPUs. So this is a very good choice for a pure beginner. And even if you are an advanced user, Bazzite will just make your life simpler. So if you want to tinker and install stuff by hand and tinker with the drivers and installing all the Steam stuff and Proton and all of that good stuff, if you want to do that, man, kudos to you. It's fine if you're experienced, it should not be an issue. But even if you are experienced, Bazzite will make your life so much easier and just works. And for me, I'm a lucky bastard because I am a Fedora user, so this is based on Fedora, so it's kind of a match made in heaven.
gaming distro of Linux. Easy to set up.
Yeah.
And
It
have
is.
good hardware compatibility.
It is.
I also like
Excellent.
that it seems to be a community-led project. I have pretty high hopes for this.
Well, it's a community-led project, like most Linuxes. Most Linuxes are community-led, but that's a different discussion for another video.
So with that, let's get into my first category of comparing Linux to Windows, the installation process.
Well, at this point in time, especially Fedora, I'm not going to tell you to use Fedora or any, that's not the case. But since Bazelite uses Fedora, the installation process, it's pretty much Windows-like, so you should be okay for the most part.
Country for old men who has to flip.
Yeah, okay. If you want to see all the details and his humor, go and check it out. I'm not evaluating his humor, which is top notch, just like mine, very sarcastic. But go and check the details. I suspect that is just going to compare the Windows 11 setup to a Linux setup, which is very similar in terms of building the pen drive to install.
The case when setting it up.
Yes.
So
And he also explains how can we install Windows offline. So when either install your PC completely offline, or when you connect to the network, just do Shift F10 and type this command, which is OBE/, well, it's here, and you can build an offline build with an offline account.
Always forget a whole bunch of pretty bit of a bloated Windows. It's actually
if you don't want to have a bloated Windows, there is a thing called Tiny Windows 11. It works great. I have tested it out. My virtual machines based on Windows 11 are almost all Tiny 11. The ones that are not are because I'm just doing. I cannot migrate them right now. So yeah, Tiny 11. It's awesome.
ISO for you.
So you on the Bazelite, it's normal. You just say what your graphics card is, what your GPU is, and it will just set up your drivers for you. Flash like any other Linux or Windows. He's using Rufus. I use Rufus too. Fine. Start the installation and do all the steps. I'm going to make a step-by-step install video, so stay tuned for that. Since I'm talking about that, like, subscribe, and comment. It all helps.
Just like that, we've got some
and desktop is, you have Firefox pre-installed, you can install whatever browser you prefer. And Steam is installed. So if you have Steam, you have Proton, it's kind of a one thing. So if you want to have Proton install Steam and you have Proton, and you are good to go for the vast majority of the games. Not all games on Steam will work on Proton, but has a shortcut. You can filter out for Steam for the Steam Deck. So if it runs on the Steam Deck, it should run on Proton on any Linux box. So if you are on Steam, you want to filter Linux compatible games, just filter by Steam Deck, and you should have the most of it there.
So pre-install Steam mode, so then it'll kind of function situation for Linux, but was a little bit disappointed by what I found.
Why?
Okay, that's interesting. So you don't have access to the Adrenaline software.
Okay, so if you are installing Linux drivers for either NVIDIA or AMD, you will not get the full suite of programs you will have on Windows, like overlays and stuff. But you have the drivers. Performance is all there. You will have top performance of your being extracted from your GPUs, so you will not lose performance. You just lose, quote unquote, lose the bells and whistles. There are not full alternatives yet, but for the most part, you can screen cap. If you want to screen cap, just use OBS. It works great. I don't know if he's going to use OBS or not, but if you want to screen cap, use OBS. You can also have performance meters on screen. You don't have Afterburner, but you have similar stuff. Let's see if he shows it. So you lose some bells and whistles, but the performance is there.
Suite in download.
Okay. Yeah, so
recorder, Mango HUD for
GPU screen recorder works great, but I will just go for OBS for the most part. But that's just me. Mango Juice, it's a display. It's a HUD for performance like FPS, latency, low percent, 1% lows, average FPS, and all of that.
For performance overlays, so like an MSI.
It's a Afterburner lookalike. This program here, what is called LECT or something like that, allows you to overclock or try to do some overclocking stuff. It does not have all the bells and whistles, but again, I don't overclock my GPU all that much, so it's not an issue for me. I just want the drivers to perform, and that's it. Mango Juice, it's great. It shows your in-game performance indicators, so you got that going.
Next step is for me to download a bunch of games.
So he downloads games.
This is pretty much the first time I've ever seen Steam just saturate my internet line. That's crazy. I often have issues with Steam downloading really slowly on...
Yeah, but if Steam downloads slowly, it's a Steam thing.
...on Windows. But look at that! Is that like a Linux thing?
No, I don't think it is. Yeah, Linux has excellent network performance, but you're not saturating the Steam uplink to you because of Linux. It's just a Steam thing.
It's crazy. Apparently it's not a Linux thing. I just happened to catch Steam on a good day because I tested it again on a Windows system and was getting slightly lower speeds, but similarly fast compared to normal.
Yeah, that's a Steam thing.
But it turns out for every game you want the Mango overlay showing up on,
that's just a Mango thing.
Of the game in Steam.
And it now shows up.
We've got 230 frames per second happening here.
Okay, he starts off strong with the source game, so it has to work on Linux. Come on, Gabe would not give us this weak spot. So he implements Proton, he defends Proton, it's kind of his thing, and then CS will just perform badly, very, very doubtful. So it has to perform at least as good as in Windows. Okay, so that's a guarantee. So everything that uses the source engine should be our source 2 engine. It has to perform.
Feel very good. I mean,
this is a no issue.
CS2
This is not an issue. So 270 FPS average, and GPU is at 100%. So
utilization apparently, which is
yeah, 100% GPU. It's kind of a thing. I'm not sure if it's an overlay thing. Like Afterburner will never show 100%, but Mango will. That's discussable.
Interesting that the Linux gaming experience.
So source works, I know.
Unbelievably stupid way to present data. It color codes all of the labels.
Oh, this is the...
I don't know. I'm guessing that's alphabetical order. And
this is Mango's information.
Shifts over to the actual results.
Sorry for WhatsApp notifications.
Who came up with this? Why does it do that? Wait, there has to be a way to change.
Dude, it's a CSV file. I never opened a Mango file like this. It's a CSV file, so shouldn't to be open this in a what do you call it? Excel lookalike or Excel spreadsheet. It's a CSV. Opening a spreadsheet should look better, but well, it's a CSV file, so the spreadsheet should be more readable. Okay, going forward.
Let me know down compared to Windows. Well, straight off the bat, 100% we were seeing with Linux.
Yeah, so Linux shows 100% GPU, Windows does not.
Which translates into a slightly low...
As you can see, Linux shows 100%, Windows does, but Windows can have a similar performance. So I think it's an afterburner thing. I don't think that's actually accurate.
Average frame rate at...
So it's basically the 10 average, 1% lows are better in Linux. The average is better in Linux. So I think 10 FPS, it's margin of error.
1440p low settings. What is interesting though is Linux has the advantage when it comes to 1% lows.
Yeah,
the frame rate doesn't dip as much. It's more stable in Linux.
Jitter should be less noticeable.
Let's see if that result also...
I would prefer, I as a gamer, I would prefer higher 1% lows than a higher average. So 155, it's better than 136. We are getting that margin that it's noticeable. But that's again discussable.
At 1440p ultra settings.
Cyberpunk running these days, after it's such a poor launch, running in Proton, it's pretty amazing. Of itself, it's already amazing.
Pretty good. We're gonna need to see the comparative benchmark.
Yeah, you are. It's good. It's nice. Okay, so 69 average on Linux and 674 on Windows. Again, 1440p ultra. Okay, so it's pretty comparable, basically. So it's something to be proud of. Linux performs as well as Windows in a Windows native game.
And 1% impact versus Windows. A delta which gets much bigger once you turn ray tracing on for some reason.
Okay, ray tracing. when you put ray tracing in the equation, even Windows scraps itself. So ray tracing is it's just, in my opinion, of course. Put down in the comments below what you think all about this. So ray tracing on itself, it's crappy by himself. So ray tracing craps himself by itself. So you need kind of a NASA computer to have ray tracing working proper. So ray tracing is bad all around. So
a result I wasn't really expecting. I didn't.
So 10 FPS, it's margin of error. Of course, 33, it's better than 22. If you are a gamer, you know that's very noticeable. But again, it's ray tracing, man. It sucks.
To do with FSR native AA.
It has bad performance, whatever the case.
And you can tell it's like.
But again,
like
you can play ray traced games on Linux. Come on, that's a win. That's a win by itself.
Frames.
Going on. So this is Doom. Give me the averages. So 53, 63, 40, 47. So again, margin of error. And if you talk about upscaling, let's talk about upscaling for 30 seconds here. So if you're non-upscaled and non-AI frame interpolation performance, it's bad, like 20 FPS. Even if you can get 60 FPS with that interpolation and AI, you will have a 20 FPS experience. So if you are feeling latency and bad performance with the interaction with the game, more FPS will not make it feel better. It will look better. It will just perform better FPS wise, but the experience will still be crappy. So if you want to upscale, great, but try to get at least, without upscaling, something around the 50 FPS mark. So 50 FPS performance and interaction, it's good. Then you upscale to get better, smooth visuals. If your native performance, it's bad. You have smooth visuals with bad interaction, with 20 FPS interaction with the game. It just sucks.
In Doom. The game was
so basically it's the same thing.
Just under 60 frames.
This is what, Stalker?
So this again is like a similar result to what we were getting with Cyberpunk. This is running with AMD FSR using native AA. So
okay, going with upscaling here.
We are rendering in 1440p here.
But 1440p,
yeah, I'd say this is usable.
Yeah, of course it is.
A little bit of squiggling going on in our frame time graph, but it feels
Dude,
and
it's Stalker.
We see the gap close significantly in performance.
Again, same performance.
Between the two operating, typically usable at 1440p.
He goes for upscaling.
Going on.
So he had already decent performance without upscaling. When upscaling, you get better, smoother visuals with decent interaction with the game.
I wouldn't be too offended to my free time.
But again, this is a tech guy. He's used to look at frame times, average FPS, 1% lows. So he's a tech guy looking for these kind of details. A regular user, a normal gamer, will most probably won't not have its overlay on the screen and checking the FPS. So he will just play along just fine.
Dota ran perfectly.
Come on, Dota runs on the potato, man.
Well, there were no issues there. And DayZ
isn't Dota a native Linux game?
Also was very usable.
DayZ runs on a potato too.
Simulator downloaded, but it wouldn't get further than Tarkov running. I got the
come on, Tarkov. Nobody plays Tarkov. I'm joking. If you're a Tarkov player, enjoy.
Going to install. So subscribe to the.
So yeah, he in the end he says, you heard it right, or you heard it now. It is going to install Linux on his daily driver. So yeah, but there is much more to say about daily driving a Linux box. Gaming is just a part of it. You should also see for performance in terms of productivity. But let's see if he updates us with that part. For me, like, subscribe, and comment. It really helps. And I'll see you in the next one. Share your comments below if you agree with me. If you don't, speak your mind.